Hi everyone, my name is Peter Maki and I'm here at Nelcos Distribution in Vancouver, BC. And today, in part of our video series, I want to talk about vinyl preparation. And this really has two elements to vinyl preparation. The first element is your surveying. Surveying is really important. And you know, it's kind of like, hey, we just got to take a few measurements, we got to measure some stuff up, figure out material. But doing a survey not only takes into consideration the actual size of materials that are required, but also the surroundings. So you really have to pay attention to, where am I installing? What's in the way? Are there outlets? What kind of material? Is it in someone's kitchen? Is it in somebody's home? So these are some of the things that I want to talk about today, as well as preparing the vinyl that you're going to bring to a job site. Because anytime you can prep materials, whether it's at your shop or off-site, if there's something that you can do that's in an easier area that'll help you save time, it'll help your install go more quickly, and your client's really going to appreciate that. All right, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is doing a survey, and an accurate survey. Surveys get messed up all the time. And then as an installer, when you show up to a job site and you don't have the right measurements that you were provided and you've cut everything down to spec, all of a sudden you show up and you're like, what's happened? You've got a wasted trip, you've got wasted material, and you've got an upset customer. So I just want to take a couple minutes today just to talk about the importance of preparing a survey, which then leads into your vinyl preparation. So for instance, if we were going to survey these doors, you know, we can come in, measure everything up, and we're like, yep, that door is 27.5 inches wide, and you know, we're 79.5 inches high. Now, if we cut our material down just to that size, we would not be able to wrap these doors. A couple of things that we want to look at, so when we actually open the door, this has about a 1/2 inch in behind. So when we actually measure the width, we're now 28 inches. We can then measure the depth of the door because we're going to wrap around the side. So that's 1 3/8 inches. I like to go in 1/8 inch increments. For me, anything kind of beyond there, it gets a little bit too tight. So we've got 1 3/8 inches, so call it 1.5 inches, another 1.5 inches, and then a 28 inch wide door. So minimum, we need 31 inches wide of material. I would actually add an extra inch, even 1.5 inches, depending on how comfortable you are, onto each side. We don't want to add 6 inches onto each side because that's just a waste. But we want to have enough so that if we do happen to lay the material down, we go slightly off course, then we're going to be able to compensate for that. One last little thing that I wanted to show you guys about your measuring tape. This is really handy. Underneath the little lip here, there's a measurement on your tape. And this one in particular is 2¼ inches. And what that means is when you're measuring an inside diameter, like this door, the measurement that I have to the front of my tape, which is 53 inches, I can then add 1¼ inches to the back, 2¼ inches to the back of that to get my accurate measurement of the width, versus trying to kind of run and put your tape inside and, you know, sneak it in the corner, and, you know, it can sometimes get a little tricky versus just putting it into place. I can see, yeah, I've got 53. I add that 2¼ inches. I've got 55¼ inches, and that's just something small that I learned along the way, and I wish I'd learned this years ago because I've fallen into this issue many times, and it's just a small measurement, and it's actually really hard to see. But check your measuring tape, see if that's on that. I think that's a cool little tip. So one of the things, if you can pre-cut and pre-trim your material before going to site, I suggest doing that as much as possible because, you know, in our office here, we've got these great tables. They're nice and wide, they're nice and long. We can easily set up a roll on the other side, peel pieces of material off, and trim it down. You know, this is just a small piece, but for instance, if we've got to measure things up, you can see kind of you're on the table here, nice and easy. trim your material down. You can then label it easily on the back so that you know what it's for, where it's going. And one of the nice things too is with this material, this really is at site, but there's guidelines on the back. So if you do measure and you know, hey, I need to be roughly on this guideline for my measurement, I can easily cut a really, really straight line without using a ruler. So this is super helpful, especially when you're cutting in the field. Now I do have a couple of tricks for cutting in the field that I'm going to show you. Alright, so cutting in the field is entirely different than cutting at your shop or in your environment that you're used to. But inevitably, you will have to cut material in the field, and that field will always be different. I've been in areas where I'm in a bank, I'm in an office, I'm in somebody's house, somebody's very expensive house. The last thing that we want to do is damage a floor, damage a counter, or damage any of somebody's property that they've spent a lot of money on, because at the end of the day, you're going to have a really unhappy customer. That repair is going to cost you a lot, and that can all be avoided. One of the great things is to have a cutting mat similar to this. This cutting mat, you could basically go all day long with your knife, and you're not cutting through it. It's basically a self-healing mat, and they're fantastic, really easy to bring with you. It does take up a little bit more space, but again, you set your ruler up, and away you go, you're good. Or you have your snitties cutting across, you don't need to worry about damaging anything. But really interesting, a tip that I've learned from some European guys is that they'll actually bring a roll of carpet with them. And all you gotta do is get like a 1 foot piece by, even 6 feet long. You can roll it up, and you can actually bring that to a job site. And I'm gonna show you on this carpet, because you would want to get a piece similar to this, but you can basically just come along with your knife, cut through perfectly, and you actually don't damage the carpet underneath. Now, I don't suggest doing that at a client's site. I don't suggest using a Persian rug, because you might damage it, but for the most part, if you've got an old piece of carpet like I've got in my truck, I bring that with me and you can easily carry it into places. And you'd be surprised at how well it works. It's amazing, it's a cool little trick, and it's something that you can do to help prevent damaging any of your customers' sites, whether it's their floors, their counters. But again, if you're trimming at site, the nice part is you've got your measurements, and you can go with these grid patterns, and you can come along and you're like, hey, you know what, I need to cut halfway through. You can slowly and easily cut halfway through with that grid. So that's a really nice feature for when you're cutting at site. Hey everyone, I hope that you found this video helpful and informative when it comes to doing site surveys and then your vinyl preparation and preparing your vinyl before you go to a job site and then possibly preparing it while you're at a job site. One quick little tip is when you write down your survey information, one thing that I like to do is I take a quick picture of that survey info so that this way, should I lose this piece of paper, I've got it on my phone and I can take my measurements from there. Trust me, this is something you want to do because it's happened to me where I've lost the paper and I've had to go back out to site and remeasure. It's a total waste when I could have taken 5 seconds and snapped a quick photo. So I learned the hard way. Hopefully you don't have to. I hope that everybody liked this video, you found it informative, you learned something. Let me know if you have any questions or if I should cover any other topics or if there's anything I should do a little differently. I'd love to hear from everyone. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And don't forget to like this video and check out all of the other videos that we have. We look forward to seeing you guys again soon.